Welcome to this edition of the Skyrocket Sessions. Today I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Grant van der Westhuizen.
Hi, Gareth. Hi, everybody.
So guys, thank you so much, first of all, for all the response and all the opportunities that you've been pushing our way as a result of these little Skyrocket vignettes or videos that Dimitri and I have been sending out. For those of you who don't know, Dimitri has moved on. He's no longer with Braintree, so I'll be running these Skyrocket sessions and hosting them with a bunch of really cool people within Braintree. So we'll continue sending out the messaging and hopefully continue helping you guys understand Braintree a little bit. So again, thank you very much. And Grant, besides all the opportunities that we've received, what I've noticed is that a lot of messaging that's come from the Vox channels and from the various other channels still is along the lines of who is Braintree, right?
Yep. Correct. I think from our side, I mean, also now with the changes within the Vivica group, just as the different things and different channels get set up, that question often comes up as to, well, who is Braintree and what do you actually do?
Yeah. So I thought maybe this is a good time to have a little series over the next couple of weeks, where we can actually just take a slightly deeper dive. And we can look at who is Braintree and maybe like answer that question once and for all and give people some insight behind the curtain and let them see, what it is that we do there.
Sounds like a fantastic idea. Also, I mean, often goes back to basics, right? Because we often forget and then, so Braintree actually does do that. And it's one way of making sure that everyone's on the same page.
Correct. So you'll see there's a sort of a slide there which just runs through a bit of a content page, and this comes from one of the presentations that I've used before to run through induction for partners and also to run through with some of the sales teams. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll maybe cover things like modern workplace and get Doug involved. We'll look at Azure and get Chris involved. We'll bring you in for the BizApps discussion. We'll chat to Gregor maybe around own products and what we're doing in that gaming space and marketing space. And that'll be a nice sort of content or subject matter over the next couple of weeks to run through. Okay. I think today will just be sort of an introductory session where we maybe position what's coming, look at sort of where we are in terms of how we fit into the Vivica group. I mean, obviously everybody's seen this slide. And Braintree has always been sort of 100% owned, but very separate business, very similar to the likes of, Everlytics in terms of how we've existed within the group. But now, alongside all the other entities, which, I'm sure is going to be exciting to see how we can all work together and leverage our penetration in the market for each other. I don't know if you have any comments there.
No, I think it is exciting times. It's been, I think from a market point of view, there's a lot of changes out in the market. But as you said, Braintree has always been the organization within the group that focuses specifically around the Microsoft stack and product offerings. So all we are doing now is we're making sure that within the Vivica group that we're able to extend that and leverage that knowledge that we have around Microsoft and make sure that our customers, through whatever channel it might be, actually is able to leverage and understand where Microsoft's going and what Microsoft's doing within the business space.
100%. That's exactly right. And that's awesome. Thank you, Grant. So just, nice segue into the next slide, which is just something that I'm sure most people have seen, but this is sort of what I call the wagon wheel of Microsoft services and functionality within Braintree. And you'll notice the sort of I've broken it up into sort of three areas there. One is obviously the modern workplace, which, Doug is sort of the go-to guy there. I wouldn't say that I'm the go-to guy for the business applications, but obviously,
But you're definitely part of the process, Gareth. And I mean, you're a subject matter expert around that space, so don't downplay it.
We all could hope to try and be Doug Morrison, but not all of us will get there. And then Chris, obviously in the cloud space, right? So there's a lot to be said for each one of those blocks, and we're going to cover those over the next couple of weeks. And I think the last slide that I just want to run through in this session is maybe just, we're going to talk about Braintree. So let's give the channels out there an opportunity to see sort of how our business is structured. And we've structured our business into these 7 operational divisions, if you like. And Grant, I don't know if you want to walk through any of those.
Yeah, I think, look, I think from a operational division aspect, we focus, and I think coming back to your wagon wheel that you mentioned, a lot of people sort of ask the question, what does Microsoft do within the business field, and what is the business application side? You know, everyone knows about Office. Everybody knows PowerPoint, Word, Excel. You know, those are products that Microsoft's always put out there and always led the field with.
Yeah,
Cloud is a big one because I mean everyone's talking cloud, and you know Azure comes to the front of it. But the big one is around, well, what is an ERP system? What is this enterprise resource planning? And you know, without falling into the trap of talking 3-letter acronyms that, you know, we always love to do on our side of the business, what does Microsoft do around that business side or business application side? And I think if you go to the next slide, just with the divisions, what we've done is we've divided the business up into what we call enterprise, and CE stands for customer engagement. That is a division that focuses on what we would call the higher end of a business market, heading towards your larger kind of corporates. And in going into, when we talk about enterprise, I mean, we're talking, you know, national or even multinational organizations. But more importantly, from a Microsoft solution offering, we look at our D365 finance and operations and D365 HR, human resources, as a lead in that, right? So, you know, we focus around those businesses. We go in there. We've got the skill set. We talk about business process reviews. We're looking at analyzing and doing what we call a discovery workshop. We look at the details of how the company operates. That goes into the customer engagement side as well. And then not everybody plays in that enterprise or corporate level. And we've got two divisions which fall under our SMC, or you'll also hear people talking about BC Plus, but that's because of the product offering. So D365 Business Central, also legacy systems like Great Plains and Navision or NAV fall under our small to medium corp division, as well as our business intelligence division. So we've got a couple of, you'll see in that middle section there, there's, you know, they talk about dynamic web on the enterprise. We talk about Linkfresh, Printviz. Those are solutions that have been designed specifically for vertical markets or industry specific solutions. And we can go into more detail over, you know, over the coming sessions around that. But it's important to understand that, you know, Microsoft has a solution, be it Business Central or be it finance and operations, but those solutions have also been extended by partners like ourselves, like Braintree, and a global partner network, where they've actually written solutions for retail or for the fact of education, or they've gone into mining or whatever it might be, but focusing around core industry specific solutions. And then following those divisions, moving on, we've got the Azure division, which focuses around cloud and hosting infrastructure and more, and importantly, security. And then we've got modern workplace, which is your Office 365, Microsoft 365, Teams, etc.
yeah,
And then, and the last section, you know, emerging technology, what is that? Well, Microsoft has got what we call Power Platform, which includes Power Apps. And if you look at what Microsoft can do within that solution stack, it's very exciting.
yeah,
I know that within the Vivica group, everyone's probably and knows pretty closely Verde.
yeah,
And that is using the platform that Microsoft's made available. And our team focuses around how do we actually take that and build it out into solution offerings. And just to finish off on this, I mean, we've obviously got horizontal services across the different divisions around sales, marketing, human capital support, etc. But the marketing and sales horizontal services, that's where you and me play. And
yeah.
we're also here to assist our business partners, you know, within the group and outside of the group. And marketing is going into a lot of the stuff where you mentioned earlier. There's a certain element around our consumer focus and, you know, Surface devices, etc. A lot of work done around our marketing teams on that.
Awesome. So that's a nice little snapshot, guys, of Braintree as a business. I am looking forward to going into the detail, Grant, as we go over the next couple of weeks, and just differentiating for the teams out there, you know, the difference between ERP and a CRM. You know, I love the fact that the message is getting through, and that people are approaching me for meetings. You know, and I want to keep that going. So thank you again, guys. I really appreciate all the feedback. I appreciate the traction. It's obviously working. And we're going to carry on trying to help you guys understand who we are, so that we can all make money at the end of the day. So thank you, Grant.
I think just one last comment on that, please, if I can put a message out to the teams, right? If we throw 3-letter acronyms around and we talk ERP and CRM, please don't ask us straight out. If you don't know what it is, just ask us, because without asking, you might make an assumption around it. And, you know, we fall into this trap of just talking 3-letter acronyms all the time. It's not intentional. So we're happy to explain.
Yeah. So the nice way of looking at an ERP for me is like I sometimes keep it simple and say that that's sort of a financial management system on steroids, you know. And a CRM is sort of a customer relationship management tool. So that's where you keep all your sales info and your customer contact info at a very high, very high level. Just to differentiate the two. The one is what we use to run our business in terms of general ledger and finance stuff. And the one is what we use to keep a record of our customers, and then, what we're doing in those customers.
Correct.
All right. Thanks, Grant. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Sell hard. Catch you later.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.